On today's show, Lucid starts dropping some big hints at how it's going to get a range of 643 kilometers per charge without needing a massive battery pack. Tesla rides the wave of a stock market high and announces a $2 billion stock offering, and Rivian hints that there's a substantial price drop coming for the R1T and R1S electric vehicles. These stories and more coming next. This is Ecotricity's EcoTEC Roundup show from New Zealand's only carboNZero certified renewable electricity company. We are 100% Kiwi and we're 50% community owned. Switch today at ecotricity.co.nz. Welcome back to another EcoTEC News Roundup show. Thanks for letting us take a week off. We really all needed it. But now we're back in the saddle and we're raring to go. Later this spring, electric automaker Lucid will officially unveil the production version of its Air electric sedan. And while we will have to wait until its official New York Auto Show reveal to find out exact specs, its CEO Peter Rawlinson has been talking to Green Car Reports about some of the things that set it apart from the competition. Rawlinson, who was chief engineer on the original Tesla Model S, says that Lucid has upped the car's operating voltage for lower currents and thus higher efficiencies at a given power level. Lucid has also worked hard to improve the aerodynamic performance of the Air, as well as reduce losses in the drivetrain. Could this be the first true competitor to Tesla? Watch this space. At the end of January, Elon Musk stated in an earnings call that, quote, "It doesn't make sense to raise money when quizzed about potential new stock offerings. But after an incredible couple of weeks on the stock market that has seen Tesla's shares hit a heady $962 per share, that's exactly what Tesla is doing." Announced Thursday, the company will issue 2.65 million shares in a public offering that could net it nearly $2 billion. Elon Musk is expected to buy about $10 million worth of those shares. Nikola Motor surprised everyone this week by announcing a brand new vehicle in the form of the Nikola Badger, a crew cab pickup with a plug-in battery electric range of 300 miles per charge and a fuel cell extender capable of adding an additional 300 miles of range, as well as some pretty crazy performance figures. While the looks are pretty decent, lots of people are questioning if the Badger will actually make it to market. But where Nikola may have the competitive edge over other fuel cell vehicles is the company's plan to build a nationwide network of fueling stations to support its Class 8 hydrogen fuel cell big rigs. Only time will tell, though, if that happens. Despite posting some pretty dismal financials that saw profits fall last year, Daimler has confirmed that it intends to bring its upcoming EQA electric crossover to market next year. The EQA, which we first saw as an electric hatchback, but which has morphed over time into an electric version of the GLA crossover, is expected to make its debut in Frankfurt toward the end of this year. But since Mercedes-Benz is constrained on its EQC production due to a lack of battery cells from its supplier LG Chem, it wouldn't be too forward to ask where cells for a second electric model will come from. And I don't have the answer. Talking of battery cell supply issues, Jaguar has temporarily halted production of the iPace SUV after its Manga Stair factory in Graz, Austria, ran low on lithium-ion cells. The supplier for these cells? LG Chem, the same company blamed for battery cell shortages at Mercedes-Benz and Audi, as well as Hyundai. Last year, Jaguar made around 18,000 iPace models, and while it's selling well in Europe, it's not doing very well across the pond in North America, where its high sticker price is putting buyers off. If you were at Fully Charged Live USA, you may have noticed the GM EV1 sitting front and centre in the main hall, and you also may have noticed the short live video I did post-show sitting inside the iconic car. The car itself belongs to Tulsa Tech in Oklahoma, and it's in fantastic condition. But in order to get it to the show, it was towed inside a car trailer pulled by an Audi e-tron. And with 4,000 pounds of stuff in tow, the Audi e-tron managed just 1.3 miles per kilowatt hour. That's less than half of its usual efficiency. Having towed with my own electric car, I can attest that range does plummet when you have something behind. But now we have figures to back that up. With investment from Ford and Amazon, it looks like the upcoming Rivian R1T pickup and R1S SUV are about to get a sizable price cut before they go on sale towards the end of this year. We're not sure how much that price drop will actually be, but I've heard figures banded around by many industry insiders that suggests the price cut could be as much as $20,000, which would make the R1T nearer to $50,000 and the R1S nearer to $55,000. When I have more concrete pricing info, I will of course share it with you. It's official. When the Ford Mustang Mach-E goes on sale later this year, it will launch simultaneously in both the US and Europe. That's according to Ford executives on Thursday at the European Drive event for the electric crossover in London, stating that European drivers will get a version of the car that's designed for life on European roads. This means tweaking the suspension and steering, as well as adjusted electronic stability control over the US model. While Europe will get a simul launch with North America, it's not clear yet when we can expect the Mustang Mach-E in New Zealand. But when I know, I will of course share. The New Zealand government and Wisk, the company behind the Cora air taxi, have reached a memorandum of understanding to establish passenger trials in Canterbury, New Zealand. The all-electric Cora air taxi has been developed with backing from Boeing and Kitty Hawk, the Silicon Valley autonomous air taxi company backed by Google's Larry Page. Wisk has been working on readying the Cora for airworthiness since 2017, and the trial, if it takes place, will be the world's first VTOL passenger service. Well done, New Zealand! And finally, the Nissan Leaf was, for many years, the world's most popular electric car by sales volume. But for folks in the US Virgin Islands, it remained unobtainable, even as a new car. Even though a local Nissan dealership became a trained service and sales place for Leafs, Nissan never actually had the allocation to sell them cars. So the dealer went the other way. They bought used Nissan Leafs and imported them from the mainland. But when a local Leaf owner needed a battery replacement, they were still at the mercy of Nissan, who quoted the dealership, wait for it, nearly $36,000 for a replacement battery pack. That is a shockingly bad way to treat your customers. But luckily here in New Zealand, we've got a bit of a way around such protectionist behaviour, thanks to the guys and girls at Blue Cars in Auckland. They're working on building their own higher capacity replacement battery packs for Kiwi Leafs, so go check them out at the end of the show, which, as it happens, is right now. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, tell your friends about the show, and if you've got feedback, please do, as always, send it our way. Make sure as well that you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next episode. And while you've got your computer browser open, or maybe your smartphone tab, why not switch to New Zealand's only carboNZero certified renewable electricity company? It is easy to make the change, and if you do, you'll be helping New Zealand go zero emission long before the government's planned goal of 2050. We'll be making some more fun content for you all to enjoy next week, but until then, I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield. Ka kite. See you next time.